Hi everyone, today I'm going to cover Morden Test Route number 10. There has been a recent change on Morden Test Route number 10. However, if you're watching Morden Test Route number 10 video, I would like you to continue watching it because that is the actual test route. But on an odd occasion, the examiner decided to take my learner onto a slightly different test route halfway through. So up till 17 minutes and 35 seconds on Morden Test Route, on previous tests, the learner takes the first exit, which is towards North Cheam. So if you pause a video where there's a green color sign, and you can see where the North Cheam is, and then there's a no entry just after it, and then going straight ahead into central London. So this is the change I'm going to cover and show you how the different test route is being followed halfway through. So at the beginning of the video, as I explained everything, at 17:35 seconds, you have to stop playing this video again from this part in test route number 10. And as the learner continued to proceed through this test route number 10, the first change was the examiner then terminated the navigation based driving, which is independent driving, and asked my learner to continue straight ahead at the next roundabout. So the sign's going to appear on my right hand side. As you know, the speed limit is 30 on this road, which is St Helier Avenue, and just about here. So central London, which is straight ahead second exit. Now because I have a bus lane on my left hand side, I'm going to have to wait for the bus lane to come to an end. As I can see, I'm going to check my left mirror, indicate left. I'll continue to check my mirror. Now because I have to go straight ahead, I must stay in the left hand lane to continue straight ahead unless the road marking says otherwise. Very busy roundabout. As you can see, there are two lanes, a lot of traffic coming from my right hand side, so I've got to make my decision very carefully here. Okay, I have a gap coming up. I can proceed with caution. This is the first exit that you would normally follow in test route number 10. However, I'll take the second exit, which is straight ahead, so no entry on my left hand side, so cannot be classed as an exit. And I have already indicated left to take this exit. You can also use the right hand lane because you've got enough room, but I would rather suggest use the left hand lane. And this is the change. So now as you proceed here, sometimes the buses are in your path right in front of me. As you can see, it says bus stop, and that way you have to check your right mirror, go around if there's no one behind you or in the right hand lane. And as my learner continues to proceed, the speed limit is unchanged. He goes towards Rains Park on the left hand side, although it's not follow the signs, but just to help you explain. So left mirror, indicate left, go into the furthest left lane, and as you turn left from these set of traffic lights, the speed limit changes to 20. So this is where you need to be careful because the sign is on my left hand side. Now what's tricky about this part of test route is number 10. You can class it as 10.2. is there's a crossing ahead of me, and then there is this busy junction. Now when someone steps on a crossing and there are 3-4 cars ahead of you, all those 3 cars, obviously they're going to have to stop. What that makes you do is end up blocking the junction. So you got to be very careful here by looking a lot further ahead and see and anticipate what's going to happen. So let's say someone crosses and 2 cars ahead stop. I'm going to eventually be forced to stop in that junction. At the moment there's no one. I'll continue to follow this lane around. I'll stay in the left hand lane. Speed limit unchanged. Once again, a lot of traffic is built up during the rush hour. So what happens is, because of the next set of traffic light coming to red, sometimes when people are not planning ahead, they end up stopping on the crossing there, which potentially can lead to a serious fall. It just depends what's going on there at that moment. So the lights changed again. Now 2 lanes. The right hand lane cars will eventually go into the right hand lane. Look at the black Audi ahead of me. They're already in the wrong lane, as you can see. So you make sure you're in the correct lane. I'll continue to go in this lane because this is where you follow the test route. The speed limit is unchanged. Now because the road is very wide, it's quite tempting for people to go over the speed limit. And another problem here is the signage for the speed limit change is not very clear. So the 30 speed limit sign is where the guys just come out of the car on the left, and the sign is just up there on the left hand side, and from there on I'm gonna start picking up some speed, just about there. If you continue to drive 20, then you can get one minor fault for this. Well, driving fault, not a minor fault. It used to be called a minor fault back in the days. However, if you continue to do 20 through and throughout the straight, then it could lead to a serious fault. So here, this right lane splits into two, as you can see. So I'll check my left mirror. You can indicate to go into left lane. Don't carry on driving in the right hand lane. If you carry on driving in the right hand lane, it's a dual carriageway with 2 lanes. If the car starts to undertake you, then that can be a serious fault again. Now I'm doing approximately 29 miles an hour speed. Car's partially parked in my path. I'll check my right mirror, give them a bit of room. If that means I need to completely switch the lane, the better way to do it is flick your indicator, check your mirror, move on to the right hand lane where it is safe. And approaching another set of traffic light, the speed limit is still 30. So let's say you carried on driving in the right hand lane up to this set of traffic light, and a lot of cars just been undertaking you on the left hand side, then that could potentially be a serious fault. You must move back onto the left hand lane if you're not overtaking someone, or if you're not turning right. That's if you're turning right, then you can be in the right hand lane. Another set of traffic lights, I would anticipate that they might change because the light's been green for a while, and I'll ignore the lights now. Now what happens is, mostly a bus is stopped in this bus stop, so you have to look at this bus from far behind and start planning ahead by switching lane early. Make sure you're not switching the lane in the junction. Either do it before the junction or after the junction, whichever is more convenient and safer. As you continue to go downhill, a lot of people go well over the speed limit. For example, 32, 33. If you hit 33, 34, once again, a serious fault. Now, if you've made it to this point, then there are 2 options for the examiner. Either to take you straight ahead at the set of traffic lights, make you turn right, and that would be the end of your test. The second is, if they still have got extra time to kill, then they might ask you to turn left into one of these roads on my left hand side and take you out through the back roads and then bring you back to the what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carry on straight ahead. As I can see, the lights changed to green, and I'm going to be turning right, which is where the test center is. So mirror signal right. It's not very challenging at this time of the day. It's Sunday basically. I'll enter the junction. Oncoming traffic, however, they're a bit far. I'll just turn right, and then the examiner will ask you to pull up on the left hand side just outside the test center, and this is exactly where your test is going to come to an end. I hope this little change in the video on the test route helps people who are about to take their driving test, and I will soon be uploading more test routes in Morden. Thank you for watching.